Thank you. So now we're going to have our community moment. So for those of you who are new here, community moment is a chance that we invite one of our very own member to come up to share the basically any topics that they're interested to. So it could be a book you read or you wrote to the free thoughts. So today I'm going to introduce you our veteran community momenter. He's also holding a world record of Oasis community moment. So let's welcome Luke Kana.
Thank you. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
Serious stuff today. Hopefully I'll be able to turn the subject around and make it a little bit less unpleasant. Some of you may recognize the source of that term, comfortably numb. Yeah? It's from Pink Floyd's movie and album. What was it called? The Wall. And the protagonist of that movie is a rock star, and the way he sees it, his whole life's fallen apart. All kinds of unexpected incidents. And he goes into this like stupor or deep depression, and he's in a room in a hotel, and when his friends break into the room, they're not sure he's still alive. Well, the song about that is called Comfortably Numb. So, talk today is based on articles I've been reading about dealing with violence. Kind of an interesting coincidence. The main talk today is about a similar subject. Rank coincidence, huh, Michelle? We're supposed to go to the next slide. Yeah. I don't know why it is not. Anybody help? I don't know why it's not.
Click on the program.
Navigating to the next slide.
Oh, yeah. Click right
The consent.
Is it not in presentation mode?
Okay. Yeah, no, let's hear it. Sorry about that.
You can talk.
Yeah, go ahead and just give it the talk to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the next screen, I'm just going to read it anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah. We are in a time of extreme violence. Almost every day, the news reports a new incident. From an ISIS beheading to a police officer shooting an unarmed African American. Thank you, TC. To the mass murder at a Florida nightclub, to the unnamed civilian victims of U.S. drones. And on it goes. For me, the first of these numbing events was 9/11, and then more recently, the murder of 26 children and adults in 2012 at the Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. Think about this. Most populous city in this country is New York, with about 8.4 million people. Los Angeles has 4.3 million people. And third is Chicago, with 2.7 million people. There have been more people murdered in Chicago this year than in New York and LA put together. So think about being a resident of Chicago and how hard that must be. This being comfortably numb, or there's another expression for it called the new normal, has a historical precedence. And that precedence was in the U.S. Civil War. As some of you may know, 1861 to 1865. Some of you may know that there were more people killed in the United States Civil War than every other war that we've been in put together. What's interesting about the geography of the Civil War is almost all of the major battles were fought in the South. Until, anybody know? Gettysburg, yes, which is in Pennsylvania. That was the first time the people in the North had been exposed to this level of horror and violence, and they absolutely had no idea how to deal with it. They could not react. It's one of the reasons why Lincoln gave his Gettysburg Address, is to help people heal from the horror that they had just seen for the first time. Okay. The danger is that we have become so desensitized that these acts have lost their effect on us, and thus we will not be inclined to attempt to do anything about them. Exposure to violence in the media makes this, in the words of one author, the new normal, and that another's distress can lead to the dismissal or not even noticing another's pain. So, just after the murders at the Sandy Hook Elementary School, I was an election clerk for a mud district, my mud district. And if ever you've been to a mud district, voted, things are pretty slow. You can go an hour before somebody comes in to vote. So I had lots of time to talk to the election judge, my friend Kathy. And we were just sitting there and we had nothing to do. And I made a mistake. Kathy is very religious. She's a great person. However, so I said to Kathy, I said, isn't it horrible about those murders at the elementary school in Connecticut? And she thought about it for a minute. And then she said, well, Lou, maybe God had a plan for those children. Never forgotten that. By the way, that reaction is not at all uncommon. Many of you, I think, have been faced with that kind of situation. So, and there's actually a good reason for it. I think I'm going to do a community moment on that at some point after I clear that with Mike. Okay. However, in the face of this so-called new normal, we, us folks, have an advantage. We are free thinkers, skeptics, atheists, humanists, or other types of non-believers. We are in a unique position to deal with this situation. Our thoughts and actions are not clouded by the concepts of God, prayer, or faith. With a clear mind, we can reach out to people we don't know to make them feel included, something Oasis does pretty well. Speak up when we hear people spew hatred or prejudice. Not act or react with violent words or behaviors, even in the face of conflict. We can make our voices heard politically. It is our responsibility to learn about the candidates, especially those who have a plan to lessen the violence. We can teach our children about the problems and the beauties of the world today so that they can use their talents to become part of the solution. We can share what we have, whether that be a skill or our time, our money, or just a smile. Is it easier to just ignore or deny the violence and heartbreak? Yeah, but it's not the right thing to do. Thank you.